Hey, what's up everybody? Cody coming at you with a LordKnightmon Deck Profile. This is a list that I played in the Cartomatica Regionals. Started off the day pretty good. Got a tie first round, won 4 rounds in a row, and then kind of went on tilt and lost a mirror match, LordKnightmon, and then I lost 2 against Security Control. I didn't think Security Control was going to be as relevant as it was, but that'll teach me. So let's just jump right into it. For the eggs, we play 3 Pickmon and 2 Upamon. I wanted to see something that let me draw a little bit more, and Upamon's just one of the best ones. And you go down to 3 security fairly fast in this meta. I was happy. I was happy with the eggs. If you really want, you can play 4 Pickmon, 1 Upamon. That's your call. That's just what I played. Moving in right to the rookies, I played 4 Starmon, 3 to play 0 to Digivolve 1000 on play. For each Digimon you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000. So same as Pickmon, this is when attacking they lose 1000. And if you're unfamiliar, Upamon says if you have 3 of your security when attacking, once per turn, you can draw a card. Moving on, play 3 BushiAgumon, 5 to play, which you do, 3000 DP, and he has Rush, so he can attack the turn he comes into play. And we played 3 Pulsemon. I feel like I've seen Pulsemon a little bit too much in this build, but still it's a great card. So you want to have it when you need it because of the list that we're playing. So on play, if you have 3 or more security, you draw a card. If you have 3 or fewer security, you gain a memory. And if you have exactly 3, you do both. Spice for the day is 2 Renamon. So I find Renamon better than the Piddomon because you can target a Digimon that can potentially unsuspend itself, where the recovery is protecting you from 1 extra hit. And I find that there's not a whole lot of cards that you want to go into your security stack late game. And Renamon's one of my favorite Digimon. So if you're playing against Blue Imperial, this is super clean, and it is in every other situation primarily. Excuse me. Also, it's better in the red match, but I didn't play any red, so it's Renamon. And then we play 2 Cutemon. It says your opponent's turn, your opponent can't reduce the Digivolution costs. So good against Imperial, good against green, good against purple, good against anything that's playing Mega Digimon Fusion, good against Digisorption, Hidden Potential Discovered, yeah. Cutemon is a good card. Again, I feel like in those matchups, I didn't really play any blue or green, so I don't know. If you need 2, you could probably cut it to 1 if you want, but yeah. So that's our 14 rookies. Moving on to the champions, a little unconventional, but I really enjoyed it. I play 3 Turuiemon, so vanilla, 6 to play, 1 to Digivolve 6000. Played 3 Pedos, 6 to play, 1 to Digivolve 5000 blocker, when attacking lose 2 memory. And we played 3 Unimon, 5 to play, 2 to Digivolve 6000 blocker, when attacking lose 2 memory. And 2 of the Gatomon, 6 to play, 2 to Digivolve 5000. It's a blocker when you have a purple Digimon in play, so I bet you can kind of assume what our mega lineup is going to look like. On play, if you have 3 or fewer security, recover 1, which came up a lot, and you don't need a purple Digimon in play to have that effect. And she is a blocker when you have a purple, but it doesn't take away 2 memory when you attack. So my main concept behind this is I wanted a more even split between 1 costs and 2 costs. Like, you want to have more 1 cost in case you go first off the dice roll. So I favor the 1 cost by 1 card, but at some point in time in your match you're going to go second, so I wanted to have enough 2 drop champions to choke my opponent back at 1, and it came up and it worked great all day. So I really liked the champion lineup. I would consider cutting a Gatomon for another Unimon moving forward, just because the 6000 is that relevant, and Yeah, there's just no other 2-drops that I would want to play, I don't think. Moving on to the ultimates, we play 4 Knightmon, 7 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 7,000. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP. Super good in this deck. Played 3 WarGrowlmon. Main, you can Digiburst 2 to give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2,000. And the inheritable is if you have 3 or fewer security, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. It came up. I definitely enjoy WarGrowlmon. When you see a bunch of WarGrowlmon and a bunch of Knightmon early game, it can really brick you hard, and that is what caused one of my losses to security control. Then we played 2 Antylamon. I like Antylamon a lot over Sirenmon. You can make him like 9,000, or you can swing over something that's 9,000 when you have the Pickmon, or if you have him in the raising area and you hard play a Starmon after bringing him up, he can swing over some really big threats. So Antylamon was great on the day. Gotta have at least 1 2-cost, or at least 2 2-cost ultimates in LordKnightmon, in my opinion, especially with the way everything else is going. Because if they can choke you back and put you at 1, then you just go into the 2-cost ultimate in the raising and choke them back again, and then they're pretty much forced to give you that 2, maybe even 3. And when they do that, that's when you can really start steamrolling them. The Megas play 4 LordKnightmon. Just real quick, I don't feel like a good person playing LordKnightmon because of how overpowered the deck is. Your opponent really has to draw super hot, or it has to be like a really poor matchup for it to be a real game. I don't feel like a strong player playing Lord Knightmon, and that's just my opinion. So 13 to play, never do it. 3 to Digivolve. Actually, I did do this in a Winamat tournament, and I ended up taking the game. So 13 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 11,000. When attacking, you can play a level 3 Digimon from your hand, a yellow, or a Digimon that has Warrior in its attribute, so Knightmon in this exact list. So makes you go wide, and then also doing all turns, this Digimon gains 1,000 for each other Digimon you have in play. So pretty clean, pretty clean. We did play the Mastemon package. So we played 2 Mastemon, 4 to Digivolve off purple or yellow. We only play purple. 12 to hard play and 12,000 DP. When Digivolving, you trash the top card of each player's security stack, and then you can play a level 4 purple or yellow Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. And on play effects triggers, so it's great with the Takaishi, it's good with Renamon, it's good with Pulsemon, it's good with Bushi. In the right matchups, it's good with Cute, and it's good with Starmon. There's every Digimon in your deck is a great target to bring back. So I was concerned about Green OTK quite a bit. So the last match, or the last tech card of the day, is over the Slash Antylamon. I played 1 Turuiemon. Absolutely love this card. Super strong against green, super strong against blue, great against red, as long as they don't spot remove it. 12 to play, 3 to Digivolve, 11,000 DP. And if she sticks around and you do go wide with some of the higher DPs, like the 3 Turuiemon, the 2 Antylamon, and the 3,000 DP rookies, even sometimes, during your turn, your opponent's security Digimon have 3,000 less DP, and then during your opponent's turn, any Digimon that is brought out of raising has security attack -3. So she's really good to go into early game, especially if the choking game is working. Then they're going to have to stay in their breeding area. They're going to want to stay in their breeding area anyway throughout the game. So then when you go into this, they're going to be frustrated. They'll have to swing at a Digimon, and if you have a blocker in play, you just block it. So I found her super useful throughout the day. We'll just throw these in here too, the level 7s. We played 2 Chaosmon Valdur Arm. That's 15 to play, 6 to Digivolve off a green or a yellow. We only play yellow. 14,000 DP. When Digivolving, you get to activate this effect twice. One of your opponent's Digimon loses 7,000 DP. So essentially you can minus out something 14, or you can minus 2 small bodies for 7 or less, and then on deletion gain 3 memory. So one thing that I really enjoyed doing was going into the Turuiemon, making them come up and not be able to attack the security. Turuiemon usually isn't tapped, so they can't attack her, so it's just kind of a waste. And then you Valdur arm over her and pop whatever they brought out, and it was all for nothing. And yeah, you give them some memory back, but the tempo is now in your favor, and you have a Valdur arm to extend your plays later on. Then we played 1 Omnimon Zord defeat. I know some lists were playing 2 defeat and 1 Valdur. I just seen that I was playing 5 yellow megas and 2 purple megas, so that means I would want to see Valdur more frequently in my hand than defeat. I liked it throughout the day, and it is really great to see defeat in your security. For those of you who don't know, 15 to play, 3 to digivolve off of black or purple. When digivolving, you can delete one of your opponent's tamers. When deleted, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon, and if this card is checked in security, it doesn't battle the opponent's Digimon, so the Digimon will survive. That was another reason I liked Valdur, is this is immediate removal 9 times out of 10. This is, I have to wait to attack and then die, or have it spot removed and then die, so it's a little bit easier to play around. But it doesn't check in, it doesn't battle in the security, it just gets played, which is, I mean, it's great. It is great, but just not my cup of tea. And closing up, we played 3 of the best boy. Got TK, 4 to play. He's your memory character, so you start your turn with 3. And then when you play this card, you look at your securities, add 1 card from it. If it was a yellow card, you look at your security, you reveal 1 card, add it to your hand. If it was a yellow, you get recovery +1. So when you play a TK and you see a Zord defeat in your security, that does affect how you can play, as long as you're not playing against a deck that goes super wide. And then we played 1 Takaishi Matashita. If your opponent has a level 6 in play, you gain an extra 2 memory, and then your Omnimons have security attack +1. This card, I didn't see it hardly all day, and it's because it's a one-of, but when I did see it, it did help for the most part. I think there's 1 turn that I wanted to wait because my opponent left me at 2, so I didn't want to give them 2 back. And the following turn they put me at 3. I played TK, put them to 1. Then they ended up giving me 4, so I just played this immediately, and because I knew the Zord was in my security, so it was really clean. So the Zord did get in for security attack +1 that game, but primarily it's makes it so you start your turn with 5 when you need to. And then played 2 Blinding Rays. I like Blinding Ray, I think it's a great card. Self-milling is sketchy at best. You really don't want to do it to trigger the Upamon, but you can do it to trigger the Pulsemon to make your Mastemon plays even better. I enjoyed it. I think this list is great. Did brick a little bit, and the Turuiemons, the Renamons, and the Valdur arm over the defeat were my primary techs. I did like the Antylamons, but that's it. I think on the day I ended with a record of 4-3-1, and that put me at 76th or 78th place. I can't remember. I wasn't really paying attention. I was bummed. But yeah, it was a great time. It was a good tournament. Thank you all for playing. Thanks for watching. If you want, like, comment, and subscribe. We got a couple more deck profiles and a giveaway coming up soon. We're gonna hit the deck profiles kind of hard, just because I want to show off what I've been working on with this BT5 meta so far. So, peace.